In this video, we are going to look at relation between momentum and force. Now, all of you must be familiar with the equation force F equals to m times A, where F is the force, m is the mass, and A is acceleration. In plain words, this equation says that there cannot be any acceleration without application of force. So if you want to produce acceleration in any object, you need to apply some force. And if we look intuitively at it, we see that it is true. If something is moving, if you want to accelerate it, you need to apply some force. And we can have view from the other side as well, and that view is that if you apply force on somebody, and force here I'm talking about the net force, you're applying force on somebody, it will produce acceleration. There is no other way about it. So let's start with this equation. F is equals to m times A. One more point I would like to mention here, that acceleration and force both are vectors, so we can write that as a vector equation as well. Okay, so let me start with this again. F is equals to m times A, and acceleration A is nothing but rate of change of velocity, which is this. I mean, this thing follows from our first equation of the motion, which is v is equal to u plus at. By rearranging this equation, we can see that A is equals to v minus u divided by t. Now in this equation, v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, and t is the time taken for this change in velocity. I can multiply m to both the quantities inside, so this equation can also become v minus mv minus mu divided by t. Further, to specify that v and u both are vector, I'll put these arrows there so that I have a vector on the left hand side and I have a vector on the right hand side. Now the first quantity here is m times final velocity, which is basically nothing but momentum, final momentum. So we have this is the final momentum of the object, and this is m times initial velocity, so this is initial momentum of the object divided by t, and that thing, the numerator can also be written as delta p divided by t. Now what is delta p? Delta p is change in momentum. So I'll write this equation again. What we got here is F is equals to delta p upon t. Now, just similar to our interpretation of this equation here, we can interpret this equation as well. This equation says that if there is a force somewhere, it will produce change in momentum. All right, and if there is a momentum somewhere, change in momentum, I'm not talking about momentum only, it is just change in momentum. So if there is change in momentum, then you will have some force as well, because you cannot bring about any change in momentum without any application of force. Yeah, and this whole equation in words can be written as force is equal to the rate of change of momentum with respect to. So what we see here, that this delta p over delta t is basically telling you how much the momentum is changing in unit time, in 1 second. It's a very important equation, and in this series of videos we'll be looking at two types of questions. We'll be looking at a few ways of finding force applied and a few other things as well. So if we are given, let me set the background for solving these problems. but problems themselves we will look at in the next video. Here I will just talk about what we are going to do in the next video. So what we are given is, if we are given v, which is basically final velocity, you are given final velocity, you are given initial velocity, and then you are also given the time for which the object took for this change in velocity. This is time for change. Time for change in velocity. The velocity initially was u, and after t seconds it became v. You are also given mass, and then you're required to find the force. Now these kind of problems can be done in two different ways. I'll talk about both of them. First is we use the equation F is equals to m times a. So because we are given u and v, we can, the steps here, because we are given u and v and time, so we should be able to find acceleration as v minus u divided by t, or more concisely I can write that as delta v change in velocity. This is change in velocity, so I'll write delta v over t. Once I got this acceleration, I can find F is equals to m times a. The arrows indicate that we are talking about vectors, which means that every time we are doing calculation here, 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 we are keeping the direction in mind as well. The second method of solving these kind of questions is using momentum. So we basically look at this equation, F is equals to delta p over t, or in other words, you can write pf minus pi divided by t. So here what we need to do, we just need to find the initial momentum, which is m times the initial velocity u. Then we find final momentum, which is m times v, and then we find delta p by pf minus pi equals to delta p. We find this, and then we divide by time to get our force here. The thing to keep in mind is that when we are doing this subtraction here, v minus u, we are finding delta v here, or we are finding delta p here, we are talking about vector subtraction. The vector subtraction we talked about in the previous video. So those steps will have to be followed for finding the change in these vector quantities. Both these steps, I mean this method and that method, they will obviously give the same answer.